Hi, welcome to another video in the Content Manager 10 overview series by Information First. This video is going to focus on the completely redesigned and updated web client. There's been a lot of changes. If you watched any of the other videos, you might have seen a glimpse of the web client, especially the Explorer video, which talks about the Explorer view in the desktop client and how it is the same view now in the web client. So we're going to take that initial web client overview and we'll get started on taking a little deeper dive into the web client and how it works. Okay, let's get started. All right, so I've opened up the web client here and I'm going to do a dugong. Oh, sorry. I apologize for this. I accidentally went into another open image. I was doing some testing. This appears to be the Web Client Classic from Records Manager. Let me jump on over to the proper image. Here we go. And this is the web client that I wanted to show. I'm so sorry about that. They look the same. I kind of got a little confused. But that being said, this is the new web client homepage. So a couple of things that I want to point out. First off, gone are the panels. So the home panels that we used to have in the web client in earlier versions are gone. The choice of 9 and you can customize, that's gone and it's been replaced with this new Explorer view. So if you watch the other video, you know the value of the Explorer bar. I'm not going to go into super detail about how you can configure and change it because I've done that already. Let's just say that I do like this layout and the fact that it is seamless with the desktop, meaning any changes you make between each version gets passed, which is fantastic. So let's take from the top, let's take a look. First thing you'll notice in the top left corner is the customized logo. So you could have done that in earlier versions of the web client. I just did it again here. It's your opportunity to insert and replace the logo with your corporate logo, or if you want to. I've also, if you'll notice in the center of the screen, I was playing around with the folder files and I saw a trim splash JPEG or bitmap file and I replaced it with one and it seemed to work. So I've replaced the backsplash screen through our company logo up there. Again, I was even thinking of putting like a little mapping of instruction sheet for your staff. Again, you want something that's going to help them when they come to this website. How does it work? But other than that, we will continue the tour. Across the top of, as always, we have the blue menu bar or navigational bar. It's been redesigned a little bit. So let's kind of go from left to right and talk about some of the changes. The first thing is the menu bar. So this still collapses and expands and collapses the menu, all the options, and it still has the primary records section, the requests section, and then these miscellaneous objects and items that you can do on the right. So that hasn't changed. Now let me just collapse it and continue. Gone is the wording, what you're looking for. So the wording, what are you looking for, has been replaced with this settings button. Notice if I hover over it, it does tell me I'm searching for records. If I click on it, it gives me access to change what I'm searching for. So this is where you decide what you're searching for. Are you searching for records? Are you searching for activities? Are you searching for requests, etc.? You would select that there. That's going to be the first place you're going to look if you're getting results you're not expecting. Then make sure you are on records if that's what you were intending on doing. The next thing is great. This again brings it in alignment with the desktop client. So we had the what you're searching for, and then we had the search method. How are you searching for it? These are our methods. Now, if I click in it, I can type, but if I hold for a second, it will give me access to all available search methods in the web client. You can choose to take the elevator and scroll around looking for what you want. But like all things, if I start to type, say I want to do a title word search, as I type the word title, it will then give me the values that match that word. So I can find title word, free text word, full title. If I replace this and let's put in a very common term, the word date. If I hit the date, you can see all of the date fields come up. So I find this, again, equal to the desktop client, very handy. No need to kind of necessarily use the big search editor. If you know the search methods, I'm a big proponent of search methods. If you know the method you want, go ahead and type it here. So I'm going to do the classic title word search here. I'm just going to type in title and then hit tab. Here's where you enter your query. What's great is you can click on it and it will show you your recent searches. So again, reusability, familiarity, ease of use. This is all things that we're trying to stress with the new web client. I can look through my recent searches. All of them seem to be location searches. So I'm going to type in the word dugong that I want to do a good old fashioned dugong search. When it comes to the first magnifying glass, that is how you would execute your search. Of course, you can hit the magnifying glass on your keyboard. I do that and I get my search results. I'll talk about the new layout in a moment. Next button over is the search editor. So gone is the options button. If you remember options, and you would select your filters and things. Speaking of filters, where are they? They're down in the search results. I'll talk about that in a second. Search editor, if I click this, it gives me the full search editor that we're used to from the desktop client. Sorry, I tried to move it. Find your terms by category or alphabetically. Pick one, moves it into the workspace. I call it the workspace. Put in whatever criteria you're looking for. When you're happy, add it to the query. When you're ready to run that query, hit the search button and off it goes. And I've just done an all record search. So that search editor is still available, but it's pulled up and easier to access. Related to the absence of the options button, we have brought out the search form button now. If I click this, instant access to all of the search forms. I really like that. That was always a little confusing to have to go in and find where the search form was. Here it's out there. And as you saw, I'm a big proponent of search forms. And as if you saw the overview video as well, you'll know that search forms are now executable in the desktop client as well. So making these search forms, and they are available on desktop and web client. It's excellent. It's all good. Everything is fantastic. So accessing your search forms here, I'll just pull up a words and number. I'll put in a content here. Again, I'll search the word for dugong, and we'll pull up a content word search for the word dugong, and we get different records. So far, moving on, the last buttons are the help button, which hasn't changed. Hit the question mark, get a new tab, search the help file. I'm a big proponent of this as well. Empower the users to do their own research if they don't know how to do something. The web client, and I know some of the writers, so shout out to the writers of the help file. You're doing a great job, and I really push use of the help file, so that's perfect. And then last but not least, we have the new button, which used to be the user and settings. If I click on that, there's the settings button and the setup information. I'm going to skip settings for a moment. Setup information, a little more expanded information, your user type, the current username, the database you're in, etc. All that information. Great for troubleshooting, working with the help team or the support desk, etc. Capturing all that information. I'm going to OK that. I'm going to go back to the drop down and I hit the settings button. And here we have the good old fashioned settings where we would set our locale, date format, time format, search results per page, our document viewer options to either override or use the built-in browser. Our global settings now we can set, because I'm on as an administrator, I can set the global settings. Your users have the option to get the global settings, of course, right here in the bottom. And then finally, the record types. Now, this is something that I talked about in the desktop overview video as well. I didn't show the web portion, but if you recall, the record type option allows me to put my favorite record types at the top of the list, or the record types that I create most often. If I click here, you see that I have my maintenance folder, my expense report, my standard folder. Those are my favorite records. So I'm going to move this one to the top. That's the most common record type that I create in this make-believe world I live in. And I'm going to click OK. What that means when I come over here, let it think, do its thing. When I'm creating a new record, if I click it, you'll see the basic document is at the top. So here you're empowering the users to customize the list of available record types to put the ones they use the most on the top. So that concludes the tour of the menu bar from left to right. Not much has changed, but a lot of significant changes. Next, we're going to move into the secondary view. So let me just close this create record, close this record search, go back to my title word dugong search, and let's talk about the search results or the list pane. So this view I typically refer to as kind of the secondary view. It's what you're going to see most often. What I mean by that is it has that left-hand side navigational panel, and then it has the list and view pane in the middle. So I'm trying to equate some of this back to the desktop client. All right, so as I said earlier, the list pane has changed a little bit. It's a little more streamlined. You can notice it's a lot cleaner. The lines are a lot thinner, so you're getting more information per page, which is certainly handy. They've moved the filter options. So here in this case, I've just executed a title word dugong search. Now I want to add some filters. What I can do is click on the buttons across the top. So the first box I'll talk about obviously is the selection button. I grab all records. I got 16 results. I can do something with those records. If I want to apply a filter, maybe isolate to documents or TIFFs, I click the filter button. Here it brings us into the record search editor. I can go to my filter tab, put in a doc type filter, go ahead and hit the search again, and I've isolated or applied a filter immediately to that recently executed search, and I've reduced my search results to 2. So we're a big proponent of filters and reducing search results. Of course, you can hit the save button to save this search if this is something that you're going to be doing again in the future. And what I really like this handy button here is I can show the URL to this search. So now what I can do is copy this, dump it in an email, send it to a colleague, saves the email system, keeps things easy. So I really like some of the features they've added here. Kind of pulling that filter out makes sense. Sometimes we're not thinking before a search on what filters we want, but it's the amount of results we get that make us think about, okay, I'm going to put a filter on it now. So I kind of like the way the logical flow of that is. Okay, so now that we've talked about the search results, let me just clear this one off. Okay, I'm going to do a title word search again for the word dugong. Hit the search, get my 17 results. Let's talk a little bit about the secondary view. We looked at the filter buttons. Now what I want to look at is records. So the same rules apply. This considered the list pane. Remember in the older versions when we click on it, we would have had the action buttons appear right across the bottom, and it would have gone to like 4 times its width. So that is gone now. What's happening, and I really like this design, on the right now, it automatically kicks out with the action buttons. So here I could potentially create a new version, or I could log a request, or I could do a workflow. I really think this is clean. It's easy. It makes sense. The other buttons were kind of chaotic. You didn't really realize you could do something there. I really like having the actions pop out on the right. Similarly, everybody wants to see the record properties, or the view pane, we would call it, in the desktop client. Click on properties, and there I have all of the metadata that I'm accustomed to viewing about a particular record. This window will stay open now that I've selected it and I'm changing record types. The property view is changing. Customizing the properties is the same. I can go up to the top, click the select properties button, and here again, add and remove. Lots of videos exist on adding and removing fields to the view. Remember, though, any changes you make in the web client will also be applied to your desktop view. So keep that in mind if you change the metadata views around. The last thing I want to show you is viewing a document. Still, same rules apply. Click on the attachment. It opens up the viewer pane. Again, nice and clean. From the left, we can download if your organization allows it. You can copy the URL to the record and email it to someone. On the right-hand side, we can look at the renditions, and finally, we close the window. Remember, the back button does not work, so you can click this all day. What? Of course, call me a liar. So that's what happens when you hit the back button. So it doesn't work technically. It takes you right out of the web client. I mean, we don't want that, so we definitely want to hit the close button. Let me actually just execute that one more time because I kind of messed that up. That was kind of funny. Caught me by surprise. Let me go dugong. Okay, so where I was clicking on this. You're viewing a record. Notice it's highlighting the word because it was a title word search. It's telling me where dugong is. I think that's fantastic. You can disable the highlighting by clicking the option. Close the renditions. You're back to your search results. So I really like the overall layout. I think it's clean. I think it's efficient. And I think your users will love it. Again, if I click multiple, I didn't mean to click that one, but if I click more, I like how the actions show up. They're not buried. A lot of people didn't even notice they were being popped up on the left-hand navigational pane. Keeps that left-hand side nice and clean. So great stuff you can do with the web clients. I'm just going to skim my notes. Home pages, panels are gone. Navigational bar is new. The search field is searchable. These are all neat things. I will mention that, don't forget, the title word is always the assumed, specifically the title word, and the record number is always the assumed method, which means I could execute just that and it will recognize that as a title word. So that still exists. Title word and record number are assumed. Did that one, list pane. That's it. Okay, so everything else, that's pretty much your introduction, your to the new revamped web page. Just to look around, if I want to create a new record, I select what I want. All of this is the same. Oh, I do like that the required word is gone and they've got the red asterisk to indicate a required field. Again, it's similar with the desktop. That familiarity will certainly help with adoption, user adoption, by all means. Fill out the metadata as required and click Save to complete the save. I didn't do it that time. Let's take a look at some of the other options. If I click the menu and I go to save my locations, I still have access to my favorites. I can add a new, because I'm an administrator, I can create a new one. If I go back to the menu bar and select my consignments, I don't have any here. If I go to the menu bar, I can go to my user labels. I got a couple of these ones and I can browse. So all of that functionality is the same as it was in earlier versions, and that's kind of cool. I'll click the home button, and again, the new navigational panel, the Explorer view, is here. And we've seen this in the other video, but just a high level, I can click on my favorite records. I can go to my trays and view my recent documents or my recent containers. There's my Content Manager 10 demo stuff. And of course, with the classifications, it'll bring back 10, which is what I set at a time. And if I want to see more, I just click on Get More. All of this is great. This can be resized to give you as much viewing space as you want. All in all, it's a great product. So that's kind of the overview of the Webclient 10. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, click the like button. If you want to be notified when other videos are released, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you want a topic covered, please send me an email or write something in the comments, and we'll try to get a video that meets your request. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. There might be a few more, and thanks for tuning in.